Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kaitlin if you're new here. Today I wanted to talk about the different roles you could get assigned to while you're on your DCP. But before we get started, I wanted to do a quick little disclaimer before I get into explaining them. I got all this information off of a website and I'm going to link it down below so you can see for yourself. I don't personally know what each role is like. I just wanted to give you a little insight on what you could get, or if it goes back to how it used to be and you can pick your roles, and you can decide which one would be the best for you. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So the first role I wanted to talk about was quick service food and beverage. The responsibilities of this role are keeping a clean environment while preparing food and exhibiting excellent customer service. You could be selling food and beverage at carts or restaurants, preparing and assembling food in the kitchen, cash handling, or selling alcohol. So this could be like the vendors outside that sell food. You could be at any of the quick service restaurants doing the cash register, or like preparing the food in the back. So it's all that type of job, and you could get placed in any of the parks or resorts that have quick service food and beverage. The next one I wanted to talk about was Cedar, and you would be placed in a restaurant that more of the fine dining restaurants, like where you have to make reservations to be able to dine there. So it says they serve as the host of various restaurants, greeting and seating guests, operating a reservation system, and like rolling silverware and napkins up. So pretty much you're going to be the host, and you're going to take the guests to their tables and make sure they get seated, and other duties may include just like rolling up silverware and stuff, so not as much in the kitchen as quick service food and beverage could be. The next section of roles is going to be what you could get placed at like the hotels more rather than the parks. If you get bell services, dispatch, and greeter, they're responsible for overseeing the safe transport of luggage, as well as answering service requests, greeting guests, and handling their luggage for them, take it to their room, take it across to another resort if they're moving resorts during their stay. And if they have any problems during their stay, they're going to call you, and you can help them out with anything that they may need. You could also get front desk, and you would be responsible for ensuring the stay of guests runs smoothly, checking them in and out of their resorts, helping guests with itinerary planning and ticket sales. So you're probably going to be the first face they see on their vacation if you get this role, checking them into their hotel, making sure their tickets and everything are good to go so they can have a magical stay at the resort. Another one that is at the hotels would be house person. They're responsible for cleaning, maintenance, and upkeep of guest rooms. So this is pretty much just the basic cleaning of the hotel rooms. You would be cleaning the rooms, doing the linens, doing the trash, vacuuming, stocking, making beds. Just after they check out of their resort, you're going to be cleaning everything, doing the laundry of like the linens and everything, just making sure everything is really clean for the next guest. The only downside to being a house person would be little to no guest interaction. But if you don't want to talk to people, then that would probably be good for you. But if you wanted more guest interaction and you got that role, it would be harder to get it, but you could probably still make connections with guests if you tried hard enough. The next section I wanted to talk about is a section I got assigned, and it is attractions. I don't know very much about this yet, but you do have to get a drug test if you get this role, because it's a safety critical role, and you just have to make sure everyone is very safe and is able to do their job well, because things could go very wrong in this role and no one wants that to happen. So the responsibilities for this are ensuring guests have a safe and enjoyable experience on rides, as well as parades and other displays. You could be working at rides or theater shows, loading and unloading operating ride systems, giving narrations, assisting with crowd control, working in parking or toll plazas, working as a park greeter, operating turnstile areas, greeting guests as they enter the park, and validating their tickets. So this is a whole thing, and you could get one of the many roles that are here, but it's basically broken down into attractions like the rides or a show, and park greeter or parking. And crowd control is more in with any of those roles. You could be placed like in front of the castle when the fireworks are going off, just to make sure everyone is where they need to be, or when the parades are coming, you can just be making sure everyone is staying safe and is not going to get in the way of the performers and characters that are coming, so everyone stays safe during those times. The next role I wanted to talk about was custodial. This would be a very high guest interaction role because you're just walking around the parks by yourself, cleaning, and anyone could walk up and ask you a question. So I think it would be really good in making connections with this role. But it says, responsible for making sure all onstage areas are clean for guests, high guest interaction, and extensive cleaning of parks. So you're going to be taking out the trash, sweeping up the park, and cleaning the restrooms, and just making sure everything is show ready for the guests to enjoy, and just making sure nothing is dirty or in the way, because Disney does not want people to think that their theme parks are dirty. The next role I wanted to talk about was Photopass Photographer. Responsible for capturing the magic guest experience in the park, operating a camera and other digital technology. I think this role would be so fun because you could capture people's first time ever being in the Magic Kingdom, ever seeing the castle. You could capture some really sentimental and special moments for people, such as their engagements, and just you could capture their wedding maybe. It's just something that you can create really, really magical and special moments for those people that they will have for the rest of their life. I think it would be so fun to be a Photopass photographer. They also work like selling the photos, like at the end of the ride where they sell the photos. You would be there sometimes, and being in there with the characters and capturing moments when people are seeing Mickey for the first time and any of the princesses. You know, those are really special moments too, and you can just capture so many magical moments that people will remember for the rest of their life. The next role I wanted to talk about was children's activities. And if you get this role, you will be placed at a resort, facilitating activities such as games, reading stories, providing refreshments. I know they do tie-dye, they play at the pool, and they just have a fun time. If you're doing this role, you would be watching other guests' children while they are having some time alone or to themselves while they're on vacation, just making sure their kids stay entertained and are safe while their parents are away. I think it would be really fun to get this role and just get to connect with all the different kids from all over and just building connections with them and making sure that they're having a great time at Walt Disney World. The next role I wanted to talk about was Lifeguard. You can get shallow water or deep water lifeguard at a hotel pool or the 2 water parks that Disney has. So this says lifeguard cast members are responsible for ensuring the safety of guests in Disney resorts and water parks. So you're going to be monitoring the guests while they're in the lazy river, the pools, the water slides, anything like that, and just being able to assist them if they have any problems while they're in the water. You do have to pass a swim test. This says swim 200 yards freestyle or breaststroke, retrieve a 10-pound brick from the deepest section of the pool, tread water with hands out of water for 2 minutes, just to make sure you're a strong swimmer and that you'll be able to save anyone if there's any issues. You could also be a water slide operator or any of the other rides that are at the water parks. This is the same qualifications as being a lifeguard. You're just really going to be more on the water slides. You're going to be at an attraction at the water park rather than just at a pool. Next role I wanted to talk about was merchandise. I know this is a highly popular role in the program and it's highly sought after. Everyone wants it. You're responsible for maintaining, restocking, and answering questions about inventory, selling merchandise in indoor outdoor areas, cash handling, stocking shelves, and stroller and wheelchair rental, preparing food and candy, selling alcohol, and just approaching guests and trying to sell the merchandise that Disney has. So you could be outside at selling like the glow wands at the glow carts. You could be in any of the shops, in any of the parks, or any of the resorts. It also includes like you could be placed at the confectionery and learn how to make the like candy and treats that they sell there. That is considered a merchandise location. And yeah, you could be at the wheelchair and stroller rentals, renting those out to guests. Yeah, overall, I think that would be a really fun role to get if you really like to make conversations and are excited about selling Disney merch. You could also get the role of a vacation planner, and they're responsible for directly interacting with guests and facilitating ticket planning services. So you could be selling tickets to guests, and that's really what it is giving your knowledge about Disney World and selling the tickets to them. You're taking most of the stress off of the guest and by helping them plan their vacation and making sure that they get what they need booked and done so they won't have to worry about doing it themselves while they're on their vacation. These next few I'm going to talk about are not available right now, but they probably, hopefully, will come back in the future. So I'm going to add them on in here just for future reference. So if anyone watching this video is applying for the DCP in the future and these are options, you will kind of know what to expect if you get chosen to do this role. So the first one is Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique cast members have the unique opportunity of performing all their duties in character. They're responsible for turning young guests into pirates and princesses. Some of their responsibilities may include you get to be a fairy godmother in training, and you get to interact with all different types of little children and you get to turn them into princesses. It's so sweet. You would be like braiding and curling their hair, doing their makeup, and just transforming them into a princess. I just think it would be so magical to be able to do this role and be able to transform these little girls who've always dreamed of being a princess, making their dream come true and showing them that they can be a princess. The next one I wanted to talk about was character attendant. They would be responsible for assisting character performers in providing magic for Disney's guests, providing guests with information about character locations and meeting times, ensuring the safety of characters and guests. So in this role, you would be assigned to help a character and make sure they get to their spot safely and that no one tramples them or anything. And you can help take pictures for whoever is in line. You can maintain the line and just make sure everything runs smoothly for the character while they're having their meet and greet. Another one is character performer. You do have to have an audition for this role. I'm not going to say much about it because I don't want to ruin the magic, but you get to be friends with a Disney character, and that's all I'm going to say about that. One role I did leave out that I haven't seen very many people get, but some people do get it. I think it's if you have more experience in sewing and seamstressy, you would get placed in this role. It's costuming, and it's responsible for a variety of tasks related to cleaning, supplying, and stocking cast member costumes, answering questions and giving instructions on how to properly wear the costumes, sorting and organizing through the costumes. And the downside of this is there's little guest interaction. If that's something you would want in your role, to have high guest interaction, costuming would not be your number one option. But you would be helping the other cast members pick out their costumes, make sure they know how to wear it, and doing the laundry and organizing the costumes back into the system that they have for that. This role would be completely backstage, so that's why there would be not a lot of guest interaction. But I think it would be still very cool to see how the whole costuming system works for Disney. So there is monorail, watercraft, and Skyliner gondola is mentioned on here. I don't know very much about them, but I don't think you're actually, when you get assigned to this role, I don't think you're actually driving the monorail or the Skyliner or the watercrafts. You're more helping guests get in and off of the transportation systems and like giving the spiels of like why they stopped, or like if they're having any problems, and just like how welcome to the monorail, welcome to this. You're like doing that, and you can get trained to drive the vehicles if that's something you're interested in. But I don't think when you get this role you're automatically expected to drive the monorail, because that would scare me. But I don't know very much about those roles, but I think that is more of what it is. You're just helping make sure everyone gets on and off and that they're behaving properly while they're on the transportations. So I think I touched on all of the roles. I hope this helped you get a little bit of insight on what role would be best for you, or if you get a role and you don't know anything about it, I hope this helped you kind of understand what you would be doing on your role. They do train you properly, like it's not you're just expected to know anything. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. I will leave the website that I got the information from down below if you want to go back and see what each role is about. I am really excited. My DCP is so close. I have like 18 more days, I think, until I move in on April 11th. And I'm hoping to get my lease next week so I can do a housing reveal. And I'm hoping to do some pack with me's, shop with me's, do a haul of what I'm buying for my apartment. And yeah, the content is so close to being all Disney, and I'm so excited for it. I love you all so much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!